Hello YouTubers, I'm Optimus Frank and welcome back to my channel. If you like the content on this channel, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications of future content. Today I'll be reviewing one half of the Horrorcons, Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Snapdragon. Not to be confused with the Terracons like I have before. And when I picked him up, I admit I wasn't that excited about him until I read up on him, and this was the Decepticon who mauled Spike, Witwicky's son Daniel in the G1 cartoon. I thought it was actually Hunger from the Terracons, but it was actually this guy. This is the guy who mauled that little boy in the G1, and in the late 80s, I think it was in 87. Yeah, the cartoons were a little graphic, but I will be doing another review on his partner 8-Face because after I got this one, I felt the need to go out and get 8-Face as well. While it's cheap. So now I have both. I have the complete Horrorcon collection or duo. So stay tuned for that within the next few days. So before I show them off to you, let's look at the box. This is what you get when you get it. Here's the artwork. I tried to get the pose just like it, but his arms aren't as flexible to get that, and his fingers either. But but I tried the best I could with this, and let's take a look at the box for now. Here are some nice artwork on the side. I love how that grip looks. It's like he has that nefarious pose. You kind of hear him laughing. On the back we have we see that he's a triple changer. He changes into this this jet here, and this dinosaur or dragon, and he has a headmaster. He is a headmaster. And he's, I believe, the second headmaster to be created outside the Titan's Return. His partner 8-Face was the same, and here's that Earthrise artwork on the side, which is still nice. I'm expecting a Quintesson pretty soon. Oh, and there's the Nemesis and the Ark, and their Shockwave. So much to talk about there. And this is his box. Moving on to the figure. Here he is in his robot mode. The first thing that stands out to me on this robot is the Decepticon branding. It's the first thing that stood out to me. He has two big Decepticon symbols, two big Decepticon symbols on his chest, like badges of honor or Decepticon treachery, perhaps. But in the G1 cartoon, this was a feared Decepticon grunt, along with his partner 8-Face, perhaps as powerful as a Dinobot. He has a nice paint job. I like how well the yellow and teal go with the purple, white, and black. The hot pink is my least favorite color, though. The colors are loud, and they remind me that his characters were developed in the 1980s and the late 80s. And for some reason, his colors remind me of every set of 80s windbreaker outfits that ever made, really, and I've owned a pair myself. He also looks like a brawler. He has wide legs for kicking. He has these pointy shoulders, and he also has armor on the back here. And I see they also minimize the kibble. I mean, he doesn't have much of a backpack like you see other bots have, He does have kibble here on the arms, but, you can tell he is a triple changer, so he has to have kibble somewhere, I imagine. So, yeah, he has them here on the arms, and of course, their wings that go with his jet mode. But, I really don't see any, aside from these arms here, I don't see any kibble from his dinosaur mode, which is actually a pretty nice... nice how they fit everything together. So I do see more of his jet mode, and he also carries these two guns. They're kind of like Starscream's Null Ray, just a different mold. Just a better look at it. They're more pointy than Starscream's or the Seekers, and he carries a pair. His articulation, he can bend at the knees, 90 degree, can kick up, that's fine. It's just about everything that's included with the Siege or Earthrise figures. He has that ankle tilt. His feet are kind of narrow, but this extra plastic here, which is a part of his jet mode, contributes to his base. My only thing with, one of my things is, and it relates to the box, when you bring his arm up, my problem with that, I couldn't pose him like I wanted to because the bulk in his arm prevent his arms from folding at a 90 degree. It folds like at a 45. And yeah, also I also like that his arms are able to flare out. They have this little hinge here, the circular hinge. My only thing is because his shoulder is so long, he really can't budge from there, or he can't really twist, or he can't do this, or this gets in the way. So he really can't do much of this. He can't twist his shoulder. That's limited because these get in the way, but still, it's still some nice articulation. Also, his wrists, like Ape Face, do not twist, so there's no wrist articulation. And yeah, but all in all, his backpack he's not bulging with any kibble. You know, there is some, but not a whole lot. It's not really overwhelming. So let's turn him into his jet mode. First, I remove the head. Then I'm going to take the back, turn him around, fold out the front part, the nose of the jet. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to twist and combine them together. Make sure everything's pegged in right there. And really, the best part of one of the highlights of this figure is that his transformation is so simple. And they kept it simple, you know, they kept it simple, and we'll talk about that a little later. So you twist his arms. I'm going to turn around here. Take his wings out if you'd like. I'm not going in the order of directions, but, you know, bear with. So going to detach this backpack, move it forward, and then it should snap in right there like that. And then I'm going to take these little black hinges here, and you want to snap them in right there. They snap right in. And then it'll be lined up with this peg, just this rectangular peg. You just put it in, and he has landing gear right here. Flip it out, and you have his jet mode. Make sure everything's adjusted properly. And you can take the guns, you can put them right here in these ports. And there's his jet mode. Also, he has an opening here for crunk. So you unfold it, and you know, another thing about this headmaster is, let me get a closer look. There's no peg in the back, you know, like your traditional headmaster. Let me bring some. Here's from last time. We have Skytread. There's that little peg that's usually in every headmaster in the Titans Return, but not that you really need it for this, but it's just a difference I wanted to point out. He does have these little holes here that allow him to stand in any part of the vehicle, but they don't have any pegs for it to be used, and the only pegs they have are for the battle damage pegs. So there's nowhere for him to stand or to use these pegs unless you have perhaps Ape Face, because Ape Face has plenty of them. But moving on, all you have to do is sit him in. And let's look at the detail before we sit him in. The cockpit also has that teal paint, which is nice. You can see the buttons, the dials, and everything a cockpit needs. You know, you can imagine. So I'm not a pilot. So you sit him in, and he has these double doors here that snap in. They may not snap in all that easily, but they do snap in. It might be a little uneven. Maybe it's how I put the legs together, but there it is. You want to run your thumb across it, see if it's smooth. Make sure that's pushed in. And here we have his jet mode. And it's a great jet mode. Oh, sagging wing. So let's get a closer look at this side. Very nice detail with the mold. Here's his undercarriage. And what oh, he has landing gear. Yep, he does. Let me put him next to Starscream for a size comparison. Here he is. Starscream's a little longer, but not as wide. Maybe it might be about the same. It's probably a tad wider than Starscream, but not as long. Well, his paint job is great. I love how the red's not present. You really don't see the red because it's in here, or the hot pink, whatever that red is. I like how you have these two engines here. It makes him look like he goes real fast. However, I don't like how the back, you know, you see his fists in the back of the engines. I've seen others plug, you know, the fire here in the back to make it look like he goes fast, which is nice. But for now, you know, without that, yeah, this is kind of bothers me a little bit. He also has some these gaps here. It looks like he's hauling cargo here, but that's minor. I kind of overlook it. It's the last thing I really looked at. One other thing is I kind of wish this would open up so we can put in this here. This yellow here would open up so we can put in an extra passenger. But this is enough. Also, if you notice, the back of the blue wings has a nice little tilt to give it that, I don't know, X-wing feel, kind of. No, but it's nice to see that little tilt there. I hope I have it even. I always look at these just to see if I have the wings even. Yeah, you can see how long this Transformer is, and I think they kept this transformation simple. And you can see right here his legs. It was just a matter of putting his legs together and see how they go. And it kind of, because you use the full length of his legs, it makes the length of this aircraft a lot longer, which is great. Another good example, I mean, he's as simple as transforming this MicroMaster Visper here. And you can see, all you do is put the legs together, you peg them in, and that's it. But this is another nice mold here. But there are similarities in both their transformations. You know, the arms aren't like this, but they kind of are. I mean, the arms are straight, the legs are straight, and I mean, keeping it simple for Snapdragon works, especially in his jet mode. So let's move on to his Dragon transformation. So if I haven't mentioned it before, this is the better of his alternate modes. Now, to get him into his beast mode, or dino mode, whatever you want to call it, first I have to remove the guns, put them to the side. The easiest way to take out the headmaster, if you want, just open it. There you go, he comes out. And you put his tail back together. Sometimes when the doors give you a hard time, that's the easiest way to do it. So you want to bend his tail back. If you like to bend these back, I'm not sure what this is for in his robot mode, but I like to bend it back. Gives his tail some definition there. Right there, these little things at the end of his feet. Yeah, there's his tail. It's a massive tail. I want to detach his wings, and I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to take this little panel back here. This little panel comes out, and then you could take his head, and it comes out. It's half his head. The crunk will go right in there. You can fold it back in, but before that, I'm going to move these out a little bit. And now I'm going to attach the back here. I'm going to make sure these are in position, these little black hinges, because it's going to come out. Or these little pegs here, if you look, right? I mean, my hands are in the way, but there's a peg here, and a peg there that goes straight into this back panel. So you want to pull this out. There you go. And you're supposed to go right in there. But at the same time, you have two more pegs here that go right into this hollow purple here. So these hollow purple pegs. So I want to make sure that these are perfectly aligned and shove the black pegs, or fit snugly in here. Make sure you have both sides. There, got it. This side needs adjusting. Here and there. And the only other time you have to do this is when you're in his robot mode. So you have both sides attached right here. And this should snap back in. Here, there, and his legs, fold that panel back in, take his claws, pull them out, there, fold these wings back, of course, and all we need is to put the headmaster crunk in. So have him on just like this, and you fold him right in that little gap right there. So just push him in, wait for a snap. Let me just do it that way. There it is. Fold it back, fold his head back, and there you go. And we cannot forget his guns. They go back here. And there we have his his beast mode. Okay, now this is my least favorite mode. This is where I like the red least. He looks like a dinosaur with lipstick on, really, or he looks like he needs 5 tons of Vaseline for those chapped lips. I mean, and he has these twin guns on his back, which are pretty good, you know. I like how Crunk here forms the detail on his teeth. You know, it's kind of, you know, it is kind of sharp. I mean, it's not threatening, but you know, they really. I like how you have the back of like you can see his arms there, and it's kind of, it forms the back of his jaw there, kind of like that flesh that you see on the Predators here. But I don't like how the rear of his body is wider than the front of his body. You know, it looks disproportionate. And I would have preferred if the instructions left out a step where you have to adjust this part of the back here. This way, I like it better this way. Now he looks a little bit more broad, and he doesn't look as scrawny on the top. But the directions have us do it this way, and it looks kind of funny to me. And I'm not going to go through this again. I mean, this is the hardest part. I got it luckily on the first try. Let me adjust it. But yeah, it's kind of a pain. It's a little tedious to get his shoulders in position there. But as far as this dinosaur's articulation, his tail is articulate at the end right here. And it looks like the most dangerous part of his body here. You know, just one hit would knock him out about for miles. His arms have some articulation there. I think the most articulate things on his body are his legs. I mean, they're made for running, and you know, I've seen him in the G1. In this mode, he is a brawler and he charges like Apeface. You know, he doesn't have these guns for precision, more for anti-air. But when you see him in action, he's charging and biting. You know, he's fairly articulate. My only problem with the articulation is he can't really look left and right. The only thing in his body, he can only like run forward or move forward. He can't twist his legs. He can do this, but still in the left and right. He could probably kick, you know. But he can't look to the left. He can bob up and down, you know. That's good. But this is the only thing you get. He can only take his front arms and move them left and right. He can't turn his head. He can't move his tail. He can only move forward, you know, or he can only move up and down. And that's one of that's one of the things I don't like about this figure or this mode. And yeah, like I said before, this is my least favorite mode. So let's go full circle and turn him back into his robot mode. So taking these guns out, let's take out Crunk, put it to the side, unsnap him, let go. Okay. And what you're gonna want to do is fold the arms in, fairly easy. Take this, not so much attack. And the hardest part is getting the chest plate and the back plate in. Let's get this, fold it in. Just do everything in reverse. Fold these arms in. You're gonna need these out of the way to get it the way you want. So you're gonna attach this, attach that. First here, fold them in here like that. These arms, hold this back. Make sure that's in. And here you're gonna have to do this again, where you have to get, and you can get a better look here, as to where these little points have to go under the chest plate right there. So I'm gonna make sure they're all the way up. And it's easier to do this in his robot mode. So it's snapped in there, it's attached. You take his legs, you split them apart, you turn them, move this back. Well, not just yet. You move that back, and it bends at a hinge right here. Under his foot, you could bend his feet back, and it plugs right into this peg here. You turn it, that leg is ready. Do the same for this side. There's that big hinge. Bring his leg there. Oh, and these are the heels I was talking about. I'm not sure what this is about. It's probably about his, if you look at the bottom of his feet, this bends out. I'm not sure. I think it's to accentuate tail when he's in dino mode. But here he is. All that's missing is his headmaster. Twist the arms. Like I said, his wrists aren't articulate, and you can only get so much out of his posing. Here's Crunk. Fold together. Plug him in. And there you go. Now, getting him made me want to get Ape Face. And just like I said before, I'm going to review Ape Face right after this pretty soon. But this is Snapdragon. And all in all, I think it was a good buy. Definitely a learning experience for me. I got to go back and see who mauled Daniel Witwicky. And, you know, I always found Daniel annoying in the cartoon. But, yeah, this was the guy who did it. So, yeah. This is my review of Snapdragon, Earthrise Snapdragon. If you liked this video, please drop a like, subscribe, and click on the bell for further notifications of content from this channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I'm Optimus Frank, till all are one.